The window is closing. Right now, as you are watching this video, there are visa numbers sitting on the table, available, accessible, and ready to be used, but only for a very short time. The May 2026 Visa Bulletin has just been released, and what it contains could either be the opportunity you have been waiting for your entire life, or the chance that quietly slips through your fingers while you were not paying attention. This is not a drill. This is not an exaggeration. If you or someone you love is in the middle of an immigration journey, the next few minutes of this video could be the most important minutes of your week. So do not move. Do not skip ahead. Stay right here because we are breaking down everything you need to know right now. Welcome to Global Entry News, your most trusted source for immigration updates, visa news, and everything you need to navigate the United States immigration system with confidence and clarity. If you are new here, we are so glad you found us. This channel exists for one reason: to give you real, accurate, and timely information so that you can make the best possible decisions for yourself and your family. If that is what you are looking for, please take just 1 second right now and hit that subscribe button and tap the notification bell so you never miss a critical update like this one. New videos go up regularly, and in the world of immigration, being even a few days behind on information can make a massive difference. Now let us get into the May 2026 Visa Bulletin and exactly what it means for you. For anyone who is newer to the immigration process, let us quickly establish what the Visa Bulletin actually is and why it matters so much. Every single month, the United States Department of State releases what is called the Visa Bulletin. This document controls when people in various immigration categories can move forward with their green card applications. The United States has a limited number of immigrant visas that it issues every fiscal year, and those numbers are divided among different preference categories and countries of birth. Because demand for green cards far exceeds the supply in many categories, people end up waiting in what are called visa queues, sometimes for months, sometimes for years, and in some cases, for decades. The Visa Bulletin tells you exactly where in that queue the government is currently processing applications. It does this through what are called priority dates. Your priority date is essentially the date your place in line was established, usually the date your employer or family member filed a petition on your behalf. When the Visa Bulletin shows a date that is equal to or later than your priority date, it means your number has come up. You are eligible to move forward. And that is when things get real, because moving forward means filing for your green card, going to your consular interview, or adjusting your status, depending on your situation. Now here is the thing that most people do not fully appreciate until they are deep in the process. The Visa Bulletin does not just sit still. Priority dates move forward, which is good news, but they also retrogress, meaning they move backward, which can catch people completely off guard. A date that was current last month might not be current this month. A category that was wide open just a few months ago might suddenly shut down. And a window that appears right now in the May 2026 bulletin might be gone entirely by June. This is why understanding each bulletin as it comes out is so critically important, and this is why we are treating today's video with the urgency it deserves. So what does the May 2026 Visa Bulletin actually show us? Let us walk through the key movements and what they mean for the people most directly affected. Starting with the family-based preference categories, there is meaningful forward movement in several areas that will bring real relief to families who have been waiting patiently. The F2A category, which covers spouses and children of lawful permanent residents, continues to show strong movement. This category has historically been one of the more favorable ones in terms of forward progress, and May 2026 continues that trend. If you are the spouse or unmarried child under 21 of a green card holder and your priority date is within the current window, you need to be talking to your immigration attorney or accredited representative immediately. The processing environment right now creates a real opportunity, but opportunities like this require action. The F1 category, which covers unmarried sons and daughters of United States citizens who are 21 or older, is also showing some forward movement, though progress here has historically been slower and more uneven. For certain countries, the dates are more current than they have been in recent memory. For others, the movement is modest but still meaningful. If you fall into this category, check your specific country of chargeability carefully against the May Bulletin dates and compare them to your priority date. When we talk about employment-based categories, this is where the May 2026 Bulletin gets especially significant for a large number of people. The EB1 category, which covers priority workers including persons of extraordinary ability, outstanding professors and researchers, and multinational executives and managers, has historically moved relatively well compared to other employment-based categories. However, for certain high-demand countries, particularly India and China, the dates in even the EB1 category tell a very different story than they do for the rest of the world. If you are from one of these countries and you are waiting in the EB1 line, the May 2026 Bulletin contains information that is directly relevant to your planning timeline, and you need to review it carefully. The EB2 category covers professionals holding advanced degrees and persons of exceptional ability. For most countries of birth, this category remains relatively current. But again, for India specifically, the EB2 backlog is one of the most severe in the entire immigration system. Priority dates for Indian nationals in EB2 are decades behind the current date. This is not a small gap. This is a generational wait that affects hundreds of thousands of highly skilled professionals who came to the United States to contribute, to build, to create, and who are stuck in a system that was never designed to handle this volume of demand. The May 2026 Bulletin does show some movement here, and any forward progress in this category for Indian nationals is genuinely significant and worth noting. The EB3 category, which covers skilled workers, professionals, and other workers, shows its own pattern of movement that varies significantly by country of birth. For most countries, EB3 dates are relatively current or moving forward at a reasonable pace. For India and China, the same severe backlog conditions apply. One thing worth watching closely in the May Bulletin is the relationship between EB2 and EB3 dates for Indian nationals. There are situations where the EB3 date is actually more favorable than EB2 for Indian applicants, which has led some people to explore downgrading their preference category as a strategic move. This is a complex decision that should always be made in consultation with a qualified immigration attorney, but it is a real option that the current bulletin environment makes relevant for some people. The EB5 investor visa category, which provides a path to permanent residence through qualifying investments in United States commercial enterprises, also has its own bulletin tracking. For those following the EB5 pathway, the May 2026 Bulletin shows continued processing in both the set-aside categories and the unreserved visa pool. The rural, high unemployment, and infrastructure set-aside categories continue to offer some of the most favorable date movement for investors who qualify. Now let us talk about what makes May 2026 specifically a window, a small one, but a real one, and why the urgency in the title of this video is completely justified. The fiscal year for immigration purposes runs from October through September. As we move deeper into the fiscal year, visa numbers that were allocated for the year get used up. Categories that had strong movement earlier in the year can slow down or even retrogress as the available numbers for the year start running thin. May is a critical month because we are now more than halfway through the fiscal year. The numbers that are available right now exist because of where we are in the annual allocation cycle. But that window will not stay open indefinitely. USCIS and the State Department work together each month to determine how many visa numbers can be used in the adjustment of status process versus consular processing. The interplay between these two agencies and the monthly demand predictions they use to set cutoff dates means that the dates you see in May can look very different from what you will see in July or August. Historically, the summer months toward the end of the fiscal year see increased pressure on visa numbers. Categories that appeared current in the spring sometimes retrogress sharply as the year winds down. This is not speculation. This is a pattern that has repeated itself many times over the years, and it is exactly why immigration attorneys and advocates are sounding the alarm right now. If your priority date is currently within the window shown in the May 2026 bulletin, the worst thing you can do is wait and see what happens next month. The best thing you can do is contact your attorney today, gather your documents now, and get your filing in as quickly as possible while the dates support it. A window that is open today may not be open in 30 days. Beyond the numbers themselves, there is another layer to the May 2026 bulletin that deserves attention, and that is the difference between the final action dates chart and the dates for filing chart. These are two separate charts in the bulletin, and they serve different purposes. The final action dates chart tells you when a visa number is actually available for final processing, meaning you can complete your green card application and receive your permanent residence. The dates for filing chart, when USCIS authorizes its use in a given month, tells you when you can submit your adjustment of status application even if a visa number is not yet immediately available. Filing under the dates for filing chart, when permitted, has real benefits. It allows you to get into the system, begin accumulating time toward certain benefits, and in many cases, apply for work authorization and travel permission while you wait. Whether USCIS authorizes the use of the dates for filing chart in May 2026 is something that will be announced on the USCIS website, and it is something every applicant who is close to a current date needs to monitor actively. If you have been waiting for your date to become current on the final action chart, but your date falls under the dates for filing chart, you may have an opportunity to move right now that you did not have last month. There is also important context to consider around the broader immigration environment in 2026. Policy shifts, administrative priorities, and processing capacity all affect the real-world experience of navigating the immigration system, even when the numbers on paper look favorable. Having current dates is step one, but having complete, correctly prepared applications, working with qualified representatives, and staying informed about policy changes are equally important parts of a successful immigration journey. This is exactly why staying connected to reliable information sources matters so much, and it is exactly why this channel exists. One of the most common mistakes people make when navigating the Visa Bulletin is treating it as a passive process, something that happens to them rather than something they actively manage. The people who move through the immigration system most successfully are the ones who treat it like a project. They know their priority date. They check the bulletin every month when it comes out. They have a relationship with a qualified immigration professional. They have their documents organized and ready. They understand the difference between the two charts. And when a window opens, they move quickly. If you have been on the sidelines, waiting for things to settle down, waiting for the perfect moment, waiting to see what happens next, the May 2026 bulletin is your signal that the moment is now, not next month, not after the summer, now. The small window that is open today is real, but it will not stay open forever, and the people who act on it will have opportunities that those who wait will not. We want to hear from you. Drop your preference category and your country of chargeability in the comments below. Tell us where you are in the process. Ask your questions. Our community is one of the most engaged and knowledgeable in the immigration space, and you may find that someone who has been exactly where you are right now has answers and insights that can genuinely help you move forward. And if this video gave you the clarity and the urgency that it was designed to give you, please show it some love with a thumbs up. Share it with someone you know who is in the immigration process. A coworker, a neighbor, a family member, anyone who needs to know about the May 2026 Visa Bulletin and the window that is currently open. You could be the reason someone gets their green card this year simply by sharing this video with them today. If you are not yet subscribed to Global Entry News, this is your moment. Hit that subscribe button right now and turn on your notifications. Every month when the new Visa Bulletin drops, we will be here to break it down for you in plain language, with full context, and with the urgency that this process genuinely demands. We are in this with you. Every update, every change, every opportunity. We will make sure you have the information you need when you need it. The window is open. The question is, what are you going to do about it?